market session. If you were on yesterday's call, welcome back. If you were not, and this is your first session, or you've been on another one, welcome back and welcome to everybody new that's joining. My name is Lex. I'm a new partnership with Surge Traders, so you'll see me doing these live market analysis sessions twice a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, 9 a.m. So, if you resonate with my trading style, I recommend you just come back and, keep tapping in, even if it's really foreign or if it's new or if the language is unfamiliar. I just recommend keep coming back and tapping in. It's going to pay off. At some point, it's going to pay off. So, my trading style. So, I do trade from a higher time frame perspective from the 4 hour, and then I hop down into 1 hour time frames. And then I look for my scale and entries, because if I can look for one overall nice size move on the 4 hour, which is largest time frame, which is bigger picture, then I can get multiple scale ins on one high probability trade. That automatically increases my chances of winning. And the market is not gambling. The market is all about, calculated risk taking and probability. So if you understand the way probabilities work, meaning like I could actually, I could hit the next three and then lose the next six and still be profitable, just because I kept my six losses under control, meaning small losses. But yet my big wins were the three wins, right? So it kind of, took back what was taken. So let's go ahead and get into this market. This session is not going to be crazy. I did a run through the charts this morning as well. I think price is still developing, although I do like a couple of pairs and where we're at with price. So I do want to circle back. One thing I don't do as an educator, and this is from being a student myself, that I don't do this. I'm not the kind of educator that's going to run down every single pair on the list, because what's the point of me taking your attention away from a high probability setup to like a lower probability setup, right? So I want to keep you focused, dialed in on the highest probability setups. There's no need for me to go over to a random pair that's not doing anything and take our attention there for no reason. So I am very strict when I have my my idea, my trade setup for the week. I stick to it. Even if any of my students are on here, on the private platform, you guys know I only send one trade, two trades a week, and we sit on those. Like I'm not sending a trade every single day, because for me, there's not a trade every day. And why do I trade? I trade to not trade every day, to not work every single day, right? Like I want to be free and flexible. So I trade to find the highest probability and then let the market do its thing. And then I can come back next week and rinse and repeat. So let's go ahead and get into Forex Factory, which is the news channel that I like to use just to see what news events are coming. And if I recall correctly, we have a lot of news events on the way this week. Like even yesterday was pretty busy. So I'm sorry guys, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Let me share Forex Factory. Boom, here it is. All right, guys, so you should be seeing Forex Factory on my screen. It's Wednesday, October 25th. You can see that we have a wide array of folders here. We have the yellow, low impact, red folder, high impact, and then orange folder is the medium impact. Guys, one thing I do kind of want to just, put a disclaimer out there for is that just because it says red folder doesn't always mean that it's going to give you like, super volatile movement. Sometimes it says red folder and it doesn't do anything, so don't get too attached. Detached from everything in trading. It's literally, no attachments, just experiences, right? So here we are at 10 a.m. We got CAD, red folder, beautiful. We got 11 a.m. CAD. So if you're looking at any CAD pairs, AUG CAD, USD CAD, GBP CAD, this might be good for you. 11 a.m. red CAD. I don't think I'm looking at any CAD right now. 4:35 p.m. USD, and then 6 p.m. odd. Odd could be cool. I do believe I got some odd pairs. Both of them are odd pairs. Odd, Aussie. That's my favorite currency to trade, guys. So you'll hear a lot of Australian pairs on my list. So let's go ahead and toggle over to the charts really quickly. Let's go here. Cool. So guys, yesterday, if you recall correctly, I told you guys to be on the lookout for a potential odd Swiss franc setup. Ideally, this is where I like to see the market in position when I am analyzing, right? Because every time I get into this market, I'm always looking for a new low or a new high. That's automatically going to indicate which direction the market's going for me so that I can get into alignment with the trend, right? I don't want to trade against the trend. I want to trade with it. So on odd Swiss franc, We identified a new low yesterday, which is telling me that I need a pullback off the pullback, which just means, guys, the price is bearish and you're seeing red candlesticks. I don't want to get in, just immediately. I would like to see a pullback in the market, meaning price is actually printing against the direction, and then I'm going to eventually find an entry. I'm going to put on my order flow confirmations for you guys. I don't usually share these on these live streams because people have to pay for these confirmations, but I'll leave them on here for a second. So, if you're smart, you'll screenshot these quickly before they get out of here, because it took me 5 years to centralize this kind of system, guys, and now my students are under a year making just a significant amount of money. So here it is, guys. New low, check. Pullback, check. 50%, meaning I just like price to run at least 50% of this push, check. Break and retouch. Here's my previous low, previous support, now turn to resistance, check. EMA's new low printed under my 55 EMA, check. So right there, guys, I have my structural confirmations. That's not an indicator to get into the market, guys. Notice there's two sets on here. I have structure confirmations and then I have entry confirmations. Structure sets me up, gets me, in the chair, and then my entry confirmation is what gets me on the edge of my seat. So now I'm looking for established resistance on the 4 hours. So at this moment, I can see I've established resistance in this area. I've established resistance in this area. Beautiful. So now I'm waiting for my last confirmation, and this is my most important confirmation. So in order for me to get back to these lows, because this is where ultimately I'm looking to take the market, right? These are my 4-hour swing moves with 1 hour scale in opportunities. So I'm looking for price. I am looking for price, guys, to break my internal level, right? I got to see a shift of structure. So I'm in this pullback, getting a normal bullish, structure pattern, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, high, higher low, high. And now I'm back at this higher low. And this is what I mean by internal break, guys. We want to see price, new high. So if price was going to maintain structure, we would create a new high like this. Or price could break this previous higher low, acted as support, turns to resistance, and now we have a scale in here. All right, so that's what I'm really looking for in this market right now. I do like how we're setting up. I really am fond of this kind of setup right here. So guys, what I want you guys to look for, if you're not already in this market, and just because you get in at a resistance level doesn't mean that it's ready to break all the way back to this 4-hour low, right? There's trade management and analysis that has to take place. So you have this higher low and have this higher high. One of the highest probability setups you can look for is what I just showed you, right? Let me get rid of this dotted line. All right, so here it is. I want to look for price to break that previous higher low or last line of defense on the 30-minute, because guys, in order to shift into bearish structure, I gotta let me lay this out. So if I have a 4-hour trend that's bearish, printing new lows, right, and I'm starting to get into the lower time frame, 1 hour time frames to try and find my entry, what structure do I need the 1 hour to show me? I don't want the 1 hour to be showing me continued highs, right? If I'm looking to sell, I shouldn't see highs, I should see lows. So I'm looking for the 1 hour to then start printing me the same structure that's on the 4 hour, which is lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. All right, similar to this, guys. Very, very similar. And we caught this last week, and it was just freaking money to be made. So there's my last higher low. There's the break. Here's the retouch, right? And no, it didn't run all the way back up here. It doesn't have to, all right? It does not have to. This is what adapting and understanding what price action is telling you. And that'll come with time, guys. But if you're not in this market already because you're like, I want to wait for that break, which I always advise waiting for the break. You can enter on the break or enter on a slight retouch of the break. If it pulls back all the way, if it doesn't, it doesn't. You got to find a way to get in. But if it can just come here, create a low, and then here, you could look for a scale in here, or you can enter on the break of this higher low if it breaks. If it does not break, guys, you don't enter, right? I'm not entering on open candlesticks. And when I say open candlesticks, let me explain what that means. I'm not entering on open candlesticks. So right here, clean this up. We can see that, what am I on, 30 minutes? So let's zoom in here. So we can see on the 30-minute time frame, this candlestick has 19 more minutes. If you guys look at this red tab on my my data bar, It has 19 more minutes until it's closed. I am not interested in what this candle does with 19 minutes left to close. I'm interested in what this candlestick is doing at the close. All right, so I can come back, and this is what prevents you from staring at the screen all day. I don't stare at the candlestick while it's printing and dancing. I literally, if I'm trading off the 30-minute, I'll come back at the end of each 30 minutes. So if there's like, if it's, what is it right now? Let's say it's like 9:28 and it closes at 9:30 a.m. I'll come back at 9:28 and I'll take a glance and I'll say, okay, I got 2 more minutes until the close. Now what is price telling me? And that's what's most important, guys, is that you understand what you're looking for. You're not entering on open candlesticks. You want to see price close. Once price is closed, it's solidified. But if it's not closed, it's not solidified, guys. So make sure price is closed. So that's odd Swiss franc. The other one is odd USD. So you can see that we had like this internal shift here that I want to take note of, right? And we're just on this level here on the higher time frame right now. It's a little, it's bearish, right? We have this new low, lower high, and then we got another equal low, but then we act as resistance here, push down. We can't break that low yet for whatever reason. We push up again, react, and now it looks like we have some sort of internal shift at a resistance level, which is one of my favorite ways to trade. I love taking internal shifts at resistance levels. So what I'm looking for, guys, is I'm looking for price. And let me mark a couple things on here. So odd Swiss franc and odd USD, guys. All right, so there it is. So these are the lows I'm trying to get back to. And if I'm selling, guys, I'm always entering off of resistance levels. All right, I don't want to sell low. I want to sell it high, sell it off the highs. All right, so this is what I'm waiting for here. This is what appears to be this new like internal low that's creating, which I like. I definitely like this. It's part of my strategy. Very reliable. So now, guys, I have this internal new low that was created, right? And again, keep in mind, if higher time frame is bearish, printing new lows, I want to align my lower time frames to give it new lows as well. So I see this new low printing here, which means price just can't trade back above this high here. But price can't trade back above this high here, but it can run all the way back to that high. I don't know if it's going to, guys. Again, I don't control the markets, I just react. It could run back to that high, come here. It could run here and come here. But ultimately, guys, I just don't want to see price go like this. All right, so I only have a couple options, but how do I allow this to happen? How do I get ready for when this potentially happens? And there's only one answer, guys. It's well, I guess it's two. It's trusting your analysis, number one, and number two is really just being patient. Like, people try to speed up the market. No matter how fast you try to move, it's not going to speed up the market. You do not have control of the market. All right, that's one thing. 5 years in, I can tell you, you have no control over the market. You have control of your entry, exit, and risk. And that's it. And that's all that you're granted. So allow this market to print the data. And then you want to see it kind of just start to roll over, right? We want to see this bullish pressure get out of here and roll over into some bearish pressure and then aim for here. So let's say price just pulls back from here. We're looking at a 72 pip move, guys. That's more than enough to get the job done. And then this one right now is looking great. I love it. But even, let's say, just from the break, if it breaks, we have 57 pips on odd Swiss franc. So these are really great moves. I'm going to look to see if this is going to break here. And if it does, guys, man, we're in for a nice ride down to these lows. So let's see what happens. It is 9:14. There's still 15 minutes left to close up this candlestick. I wish it was like 5 more minutes so that we could stay on this call together and actually watch to see what happens. Does it break? Does it hold? Does it respect? But if we get that break, guys, and you are trading in a funded account or you're trading live or you resonate with my trading, maybe entertain this idea, entertain this trade setup, as long as my trading style resonates, right? If you are not confident in your trading style, if you are blowing auditions, blowing accounts, don't take this just because Lex said this looks like a good setup. I too am wrong sometimes, guys. I too take losses. Like, the game of trading is not about who wins the most, it's about who loses the best, right? Because this market is so unpredictable. It's so based on probabilities that you have to find ways to Number one, protect your psychology. Number two, protect your account, right? I got to protect my capital to be able to evolve my capital. So it's all about finding little, little habits that's really gonna, distinguish the difference between you being a successful trader and not being a successful trader. And I'm here to tell you guys, 2 years in the market is not a long time. 3 years is not, 5 years is not, 10 years. And so if you can latch on, and I'm not saying it's gonna take you 10 years to make money. It took me 3 years, right? It took me 3 years to become profitable. I'm 5 years in, so I've been making money for 2 years. Um, I understand that, okay, it might have taken me 3 years. My students, they don't take that long. They have an incredible strategy. I didn't have one. I didn't have this, right? I didn't have this knowledge. That's why I teach, so I can expedite your learning curve. Um, but 3 years, guys, not a long time. 5 years, not a long time. But what I love about it is I hold on to that 10-year mark, and I'm halfway there just because I know that 10 years, if I'm still in this, which I will be, I'm going to be set for the next 50, 60. Easy, guys, easy. I'm 29 years old. Another 5 years, that makes me like 34 years old. I'm still young. I'm in good shape. So find your why in this. Figure out why you want to do this. What motivates you to do this? It just can't be profits. I'm a huge advocate of, advocate of process over profits. And if you're just doing things to get money, get money, get money, get money, get money, it's mundane and it's not going to take you far, guys. And you're going to step on people. But if you're doing this with some purpose because you understand that this money can unlock this door and this resource to help this person and things like that, then watch how quickly your journey will end up ultimately evolving, believe it or not. So just keep that in mind, guys. But with that being said, keep your eye out on Odd Swiss Franc. It's one of my favorite pairs. It's random, it's slow, but it really gives beautiful structure. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm not on anymore this week, but we do have some other great traders who host some of these sessions. I will be back on next Tuesday, Wednesday, but you can keep up with this analysis on my Instagram story. So, if you're like, hey, I want to
Oh, I think